Yeah, yeah. Well, so my company, Silver Kite Community Arts, we put together sort of an arts toolkit for folks who might be in that category. So we created something that's called a Spark Box that's actually available on our website. And so these boxes have instruction booklets. The outside of the box is a coloring page, and then a bunch of different kinds of art supplies are inside. So the box is designed for experimentation and for sparking your creativity in a variety of different art forms. So we have watercolors in the box, there are markers, there are leaf stencils for an art project. There's also some word tiles, poetry word tiles that are in there as well. And then an instruction booklet that either you can use to inspire your participation or forget it, and use it and sort of go on your own and play with the tools in there. So that's sort of a way to kind of dive in and try a bunch of different kinds of things for kind of a low commitment, and it comes to your house and you could do it in your free time and sort of see if there's something in there that sparks your interest as a way to get the idea of participating in the arts kind of going for you.
That's great. That's a great idea. We're going to come back to this at the end of our conversation, but
Okay.
Could you maybe tell us your website so that those of you listeners out there who are interested, you can check it out?
Yeah, so our website is www.silverkite.us, and there's a link at the top of the page. If you click on Sparkbox, all of the information about the box is right there.
Okay, great. I know for my courses that I teach on leadership, transformational leadership, I actually just added that to my syllabus. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. That's great.
Great conversation. Thanks again to Dr. Jennifer Kulik for being my guest. If you'd like to learn more about Dr. Jen's work, or, as she mentioned during today's conversation, if you want to learn more about her Spark Box, you can get more info about it and actually buy this wonderful resource on her website. That's www.silverkite.us. Silverkite is SILVERKIT.US. And if you want to reach out to Dr. Jen, you can do so on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Silverkite Community Arts. Silverkite Community Arts, all squished together. That's SILVERKITECommunityarts. Facebook.com/Silverkite Community Arts. Or you can reach out to Jen via Twitter, and her Twitter handle is @SilverkiteSEA. SilverkiteSEA. Okay? All right. If you missed any part of this week's broadcast about making magic, you can listen to the podcast right here on Talk Network Radio. Now, you can also find me on iTunes, SoundCloud, Alexa, and many, many other places. Now, before I close today's show, I want to give a shout-out to all the artists around the world, to those amazing folks who make magic happen by creating a very special spark in their own and others' lives. Now, when Dr. Jen mentioned that her own healing at the tender age of 11 was impacted by the arts, I was thinking of what a significant impact the arts have had in my own life and in the lives of so many others. Just a few weeks ago, I was leading a retreat for a group of physicians, and one of the questions I asked them was, who or what inspired you to become a doctor? Now, every single doctor in that room had a different response, And for almost everyone in the room, the common theme had something to do with, guess what? The arts. You got it, right? Now, how can that be? Well, let me just share a few things with you. One doctor brought in an inspirational quote by her favorite writer. Another gentleman brought in a painting that inspired him to become a physician. And he also brought in a very wonderful cartoon from the New Yorker, right? He keeps it on his office wall just to kind of keep his perspective in check, right, about being a doctor. Another person brought in beautiful stuffed toys in an unopened box, something that she probably kept on her desk in her office as a reminder. One woman said she'd actually studied art and architecture before changing her focus to medicine. You know what? It seems like no matter where I am in the world and no matter what kind of client I'm working with, the response to that simple question, who or what inspired you, who or what shaped you, that road seems to intersect or point to the arts. I mean, it's truly amazing when you think about it, how much of an impact the arts have in our lives. Now, everybody knows the name J.K. Rowling, right? And if you don't know Rowling, you certainly know Harry Potter, right? She's the author. She's the author of Harry Potter and all of his amazing adventures. And J.K. Rowling reminds us, she says, we do not need magic to change the world. Harry Potter's kind of magic is what we're talking about, right? We carry all the power we need inside of ourselves already. We have the power to imagine something better. The great Persian poet Rumi said something quite similar about 1,000 years ago. Rumi says, "You are a lake with a channel to the sea. Be ashamed to seek water from a pool. You are a lake with a channel to the sea. Be ashamed to seek water from a pool." In her autobiography, Martha Graham declares, "There is a vitality, a life force, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all time, the expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist in any other medium. It will be lost. The world will not have it." This pioneer of modern dance, Martha Graham, goes on to say, "It is not your business to determine how good it is, not how valuable it is, not how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours, clearly and directly, to keep the channel open." Speaking of vitality and life force, Frank X. Walker, one of my friends and fellow Cave Canem poets, says this about art. "Every day," he says, "every day our streets and school buses become art galleries in the form of perfectly spiked hair, zigzagging cornrows, and dizzying shoelace artistry." So many perspectives about art and artistry, about creating that very special spark in our lives. Where would our world be without the arts, without imagination and creativity? Great questions, aren't they? Environmental activist and writer Joseph Wood Crutch rightly asserts, if we do not permit the earth to produce beauty and joy, it will in the end not produce food either. You know what? In some cultures, there's not a specific word for art or the arts, and yet all of life is likened to art. Indeed, all of living is an art. Chief Sitting Bull says, "Let us put our minds together and see what life we can make for our children." Chief Sitting Bull was a Lakota Indian, a holy man. This man knew deeply about the art of living. In the same way, so does Dr. Wangari Maathai. She reminds us, it's the little things citizens do. That's what will make the difference. My little thing is planting trees. I love this quote. I write about Dr. Maathai's work in my book, Dare to Wear Your Soul on the Outside. When she says her little thing is planting trees, now this is the same woman who is now known as the mother of the so-called Green Belt movement. This is the same woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize for teaching all of the women in her small Kenyan village how to plant trees to restore their devastated ecosystem. 30 million trees later, she won the Nobel Peace Prize. Dr. Maathai says it's the little things citizens do. That's what will make the difference. So all of you out there, ask yourself, what can I do? What can I do that will make a difference? What can I do that will make a difference for someone in my life, for my spouse, for my daughter or son, for my sister, my brother, my auntie, my uncle, my cousin, my mom, my dad, maybe my teammate at work, for someone in my neighborhood, for someone in my village, for someone in my church? Where in my life might I be more creative? Where might I bring the arts more into focus in my life? Now, let me tell you something. You don't have to be an artist to bring more of the arts into your life. Now, some of you are going like, really? 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 All you have to do is bring in a few flowers that you love. Put them in a vase or in a basket. Put them on your table in your living room or family room. Enjoy them. Maybe you don't even pick them. Maybe you're just out walking your dog and you just enjoy the beautiful flowers. I happen to love herbs. You might too. Grow some in your kitchen. Enjoy them as they grow each day before your very eyes. Enjoy them as a feast for your eyes, or feast on them in the food you cook for your family. You know what? Simply being human is beautiful. And that's pretty miraculous all by itself, right? And you know what? When you talk with someone, when you have a meaningful conversation, what you're engaged in is the art of conversation. You're engaged in the art of living. This simple experience, this miraculously simple experience, is what makes us human. Another simple thing you can do is to be. Let me repeat that, right? Another very simple thing you can do, a simple offering you can make, is just be. And to go along with that, You can just be quiet.